One day, you reach for your dog, and they hesitate. Just half a second, not fear, not drama, a tiny pause where there used to be certainty. And the scariest part, they may still wag their tail when you walk in, they may still eat, still sleep near you, still follow you from room to room. So everything looks fine. But that pause came from somewhere, because dogs don't usually stop trusting you in one big cinematic moment. They lose trust quietly, in small scenes, in the things we barely remember doing. And if you knew exactly which moments those were, you'd start noticing them everywhere. The first one happens when your dog says no, and you treat it like they didn't say anything. Number 1, ignoring their no. Maybe they turn their head when you hug them. Maybe they lean away when you kiss their face. Maybe they freeze when a child gets too close or lick their lips when your hand comes over their head. To us, it looks like nothing. To a dog, it's a full sentence. Please stop. Ignore that sentence often enough, and your dog learns something dangerous. Calm communication doesn't work with you. And here's the strange part. The dog who stops resisting may not be getting more comfortable. They may be giving up. That's why the quiet dog is not always the happy dog. The second sign is even easier to miss because most owners think it's love. Number 2, turning your voice into a warning. You call your dog over in a sweet voice. They come. Then you clip their nails. Give them medicine. Put them in the bath. End the fun. Leave the house. Once or twice, it's fine. Dogs are forgiving, but if their name keeps becoming the warning before something unpleasant, they start doing math. Your voice used to mean safety. Now it means something is about to happen to me. That's when recall gets weird. They still hear you. They just stop believing the invitation. And if your voice can become unpredictable, your mood can do even more damage. Number 3, becoming emotionally unpredictable. One day, the dog jumps up and you laugh. The next day, they jump up and you snap. One night, they bark at the window and you say, "Good job." The next morning, they bark at the same window and you yell because you're tired. Your dog is not thinking, "My human had a stressful day." They're thinking, "The same action gets a different result depending on a rule I can't see." It's like trying to play a game where the rules change every time you start winning. A dog doesn't need a perfect owner. They need a readable one. Because when you become unpredictable, your dog doesn't just question the rule. They start questioning you. Then comes the one people defend the hardest, taking things away to show them who's boss. Number 4, taking things away to show control. A toy, a bone, a sock, their food bowl. Sometimes the owner grabs it quickly. Sometimes they chase. Sometimes they pry the dog's mouth open. Then, weeks later, the dog growls. Everyone acts shocked. But the growl didn't come from nowhere. It came from a pattern. When my human approaches, I lose something. Trust sounds different. When my human comes near, something good might happen. A trade, a treat, a calm voice, a reason to loosen their grip instead of tighten it. And this matters because one of the fastest ways to damage trust is not what you take, it's what you do when they finally tell you they're uncomfortable. A growl is not disrespect, it is a warning light. A dog who growls is still trying not to bite. They're using the only language they have left to say, "I need space." But many people punish the growl. They scold. They loom over the dog. They force the interaction anyway. For a moment, it looks like it worked. The dog goes quiet. But here's the part nobody wants to think about. You didn't remove the fear. You removed the alarm. And if this is making you rethink things, I put together a PDF guide called 7 Signs Your Dog Trusts You. It's a simple checklist to help you see where the bond is still strong. You can find it in the description. Which brings us to the fifth sign. Number 5, only connecting when you want something. You only connect with your dog when you want something from them. Come here, sit, stop that, move, get down, hurry up. Their day becomes a stream of commands, but not many moments of being chosen. No quiet sitting on the floor, no calm hand resting near them, no walk where they get to sniff without being rushed every 3 seconds. Yes, you might be meeting their needs. But trust is not built only by care. It's built by safety that doesn't always come with a demand attached. That's also why, if you want to understand dogs beyond the obvious, subscribe. Because the signs that matter most are usually the ones nobody teaches you to look for. And one of those signs hides inside play. The 6th way trust gets damaged is through jokes the dog doesn't understand. Number 6, turning their discomfort into a joke. Pretending to throw the ball over and over, pulling their paws when they're resting, blowing in their face, startling them because their reaction is funny, dressing them up when they freeze and everyone laughs. To humans, it's harmless. To the dog, it can feel like the person they depend on is suddenly unsafe for entertainment. And the worst part is that dogs often keep coming back after this, not because it didn't matter. Because attachment is powerful. They love you enough to try again. That is not permission to keep testing them. It's a reason to become gentler. But the final sign is the one that changes everything, because it doesn't look like breaking trust at all. Number 7, disappearing when they need you most. It looks like normal life. Your dog comes to you during a storm, and you're annoyed. They limp a little, and you assume they're being dramatic. They hide during a loud argument, and nobody checks on them. They get older, slower, more confused, more needy, and the patience they counted on starts disappearing. This is where trust either deepens or cracks, because every dog eventually asks a quiet question. When I am not easy anymore, are you still safe? Not when they're cute, not when they're obedient, when they're scared, sick, old, messy, confused, inconvenient. That's the real test. And here's the gut punch. Your dog is probably not keeping score the way a person would. They are watching, they are adjusting, they are learning what version of you shows up most often. So if you saw yourself in one of these signs, don't panic, don't spiral. Dogs are astonishingly willing to repair. Start small, pause before touching, trade instead of taking. Call them for good things again. Respect the growl. Become predictable. Stop turning their discomfort into content. Sit with them when they're scared, even if you can't fix the fear. Because trust does not ask for perfection. It asks for proof. Tiny proof. Repeated proof. The kind your dog can feel before they ever understand. And if tonight your dog looks up before resting their head beside you, that little glance may be the whole question. Are you still someone I can trust? What you do next is the answer. And if this made you remember a moment with your own dog, leave it in the comments. Not the perfect version, the honest one. Because another owner may read it and realize their dog has been asking the same quiet question. If this helped you notice something you might have missed, like the video, so more dog owners can catch it sooner. Subscribe and tap the bell for more honest breakdowns of what dogs are really trying to tell us. And if you want the immediate checklist, the PDF guide is in the description. But if you want the deeper breakdown, click the video on screen next about the signs your dog fully trusts you. Start there. Because the best time to rebuild trust is before your dog stops asking.